instead of doing stuff like this. It's not progressing anything. That's what bothers me about it. And also, if you have advanced survival, like this takes like a third of the time or a fourth of the time that it does right here. And it levels up to advanced plus really quick as well. So if you have max survival, you can level up max awareness in no time. And then also you could level up engineering way quicker. And you can do pretty much all of your crafting and general stuff like this faster as well. Like, I can play the game right now, but I'm not going to be able to hunt if I hear something, and that's the issue here, because keeping yourself fed and then making money through animals is like the main thing on here. And I can't even buy my thread until I get 10 fame. So I need to get, like, the fastest method to potentially get 10 fame I have to learn. And then I need to be able to take care of my food. So I know the drop rates here aren't too good if it's not official. I'm a little upset that they did this. They blocked off all these towers, and it sucks. Because now you're stuck in here. Used to you'd be able to pop out. It was like PvP Central. Jump out of a tower like a little monkey, shoot somebody with an arrow. It's lame. See, I'm thinking if they don't have it in the game yet where you can blend into a wall or something with camo, I think it becomes a lot less viable. Because if I can't use it with bows, that's the issue here. Like, I would have to go prone, wait, and then pop up, try to aim and shoot an arrow off, and then go prone again before they looked at me. It'd be very annoying. Thought I heard a boar, but... Also really like high strength in melee and bunkers. As weird as that sounds, like it feels so good. You can like destroy like 10 puppets in a doorway. They can't even touch you. I'm a big fan of melee. Even like in like base sieges, melee's so good. If you have like 4.5 strength and you hit somebody's like weapon once, it goes to like 59%, and like 2 hits it goes down to like 7. Like one shot people's backpacks. I'm actually looking for a sword right now. But yeah, I think as soon as intelligence scaling comes to the game, I might just say screw it. 4.5, 4.5, 1.5, and then probably 1.5 intelligence. This is my place when I go on official servers though, because you can make some bank in here, and I like swords. Find good stuff. At least you used to anyway. But on this, with these settings, it's not likely that there's going to be much here. Much anywhere, actually. Anytime you go to like a POI, it's like a risk. You could find something really good or completely waste your time. This is the other reason I hate having low strength. I can still use this, but it's not going to be the best. Right there. Ooh, got my helmet. Oh yeah. If you start with like 4 strength, you can use 100-pound bows even without the archery stat. If you have 4.5, you can hold the bow pretty well. Just need a sword, man. I didn't check all the towers, but it's whatever. But no, there used to be bears, boars, and wolves that spawned around here. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if I heard what I thought I heard or not. Guess not. I do know some part of the map they have like the wolf howling noise, even though the wolves aren't there. It's just like part of the ambience, and it's really annoying. That's new. You can't sleep in them no more. Just search. Yeah, my thing right now though is that I have not leveled my awareness, and my dude is hungry. There's no animals. I can go to the trader and sell this helmet for a little bit of cash, but I can't buy any food because I don't have any fame. I think it's 20 fame for food anyway. You said this video is supposed to be on Twitch that they're gonna post today? Or live stream, I should say. I might have to go next door and get some tea or something. I try to stay up. See, there used to be wolves that would spawn down here sometimes too. It's the only thing I can really say about the animal change system, like the tracking. I don't really have a problem with tracking, but I wish they would still have kept the animals like in a similar spawn area or something, like make them more consistent, because sometimes you'll get like 2 or 3 animals in a row, sometimes you won't have like anything. Ooh, that's my favorite shirt. I don't know. I just don't feel like leveling awareness, man. It's like if you cut down enough stuff to actually get 10 like 2,000 per rotation, it's not awfully hard to level, but it's just no, it's I put my foot on the back of my computer desk and there's a I think it's either the webcam or my headphones or something does it over and over and over again. It's annoying. See, we said 22 trees, I think, right? To level awareness. I really don't want to do. Yeah, I really don't. See, this is where friends come in when you play together, because it's just instead of like an hour of cutting down trees and stuff, it would be like 2 seconds of cutting down the trees together. I didn't even put my stuff in endurance like I was going to. Oh God. We're gonna get hypothermia up here anyway. Probably. Thing is, like, even if we level our awareness up to where it needs to be, I can't guarantee that an animal's gonna spawn now. So that's just... It's rolling the dice either way you look at it, which I don't like, and that's what's gonna make my server plans fail, because I think we need to... I think chickens are like the things that spawn the most for me, and it's like around towns, basically. I think the snow is the easiest place to like hunt the animals, but it doesn't spawn very many from what we've seen. See, that's 5 out of everything that we need. And then we still got to break down the sticks. Oh. I don't know. It's just very difficult to set up something that feels really solid when it comes to this server in particular. It's just basically I just have to drop the camo. Just level it constantly. I mean, I'm assuming people probably don't bother to level their awareness much over advanced, so it'd probably slow down. I just AFK farm for however long I need, basically, and then probably will be what happens. That Discord link isn't, I mean, you says live on Twitch, but that doesn't tell me much of anything. That's the Scum Twitch. Scum live streams Twitch. What's up, Splash? Are these guys gonna speak in a different language? Cause I don't know. I'm not sure what Twitch channel I'm looking for because it's not on that post. Sounds good, man. We're just figuring out some build things. I was trying to find out a way to put camo on my stuff. I think this build's potentially good if you wanted to just like use rifles and stuff. But rifles and bows and all of that, I think this is fine, but when it comes to melee, like I don't know, 40, like you're looking at a lot of hours of strength leveling to make this reasonable compared to laying on the ground and leveling camo.
Are adding abandoned bunkers 0.9. Abandoned bunkers telling you the story. The company used them before the show to
There's no way we already lost that goat. Oh, I can't hold it so long because it changes direction. Got it. Oh yeah, the little tripping trap things. I think it would just like I don't know if they necessarily have to be traps or not, but just people running at Mach 10 with like full bodysuit gear on and then you trip and drop your gun. There's so much potential. Pretty much anything that makes you drop your gun. Like I remember trying to hunt a goat once or something and it kept hitting me and knocking my weapon on my hand and I lost my gun trying to hunt it and I couldn't find my gun afterwards. You imagine being at night, one of those hunter things shows up, lose your gun. Well, he doesn't want people falling around outside. I mean, I think it's a solid thing. Almost sounds like they're going to be able to dolphin dive. But it's just something simple that they could put in, and then like later on, like their abandoned bunkers, they could put little things that mess with you. Like they could take a piece of that tripwire and put it across one of the floors, and you fall, and one of those things jump on your face. Good times. It's like an actual horror movie film. You know, you sneak through there, and then like Mr. Bruner's coming after you, and you don't notice it, and you trip over it, drop your gun on the floor, you get lit on fire. I'd put a tripwire out in front of my base, like right by the door, so when a guy tries to lockpick it, he drops his screwdriver. East. See what we're dealing with here? We didn't pick up our things. God damn it. It's like it wouldn't have been so bad if the goat wasn't leading me directly into a zombie horde. That's all. It's just I'd much prefer just being able to see a goat up on the hill and then chase it down, you know? I'm dead anyway. Well, I mean, probably not, but I could have saved myself. It's like it's leading me purposely into the puppets. Like, that's 100% what's going on right now. It's right there. South. You see, it just made me go in one big circle, and I'm still finding clues. You know how dumb that is? Alright, what'd you say? There was also a guy on there ranting about how lockpicking is broken and how all his friends have stopped playing because the locks don't protect your base at all. He wants the devs to remove lockpicking. I mean, keys could work at some point, but they already have the BCU lock things coming in right now. The main thing is that the lockpicking mechanic is a skill-based thing, which not all players can do. My suggestion for the I haven't played with the new base building stuff, so I don't know how bases hold up compared to the way they used to. But my philosophy on every survival game that I've ever played is that your base is not for your loot. Don't put your loot in your base. That's been my philosophy forever. And it works. You can put like you can put like basically I would build a very complex, painful base to raid like I usually do. And then I usually put maybe 2 sets of gear in the base, and that's about it. And usually it's like a really well hidden set of gears. So like Miscreated, for example, my friends kept, well, not really my friends, but people I was playing with, they kept calling my base trash and like taking over and trying to build their own base on top of it every time that I was building something. But one of the bases that I built, I had stuck pungees underneath the floorboard in a pattern, so there's only a certain way that you could walk through the base, and I'm the only one that knew it. And then you had to remove a floorboard, and then I had one chest buried underneath it. But anyone who touched the base would literally just get destroyed, like it would kill them instantaneously, or they'd be poisoned. And then the base was ripped apart. Like I ripped it to pieces to make it look like it was the degraded base, like it's been there forever and fell apart. So people look at it and not want to raid it because they thought it was just old and already raided. And then if they did try, they died and I'd find their body in there because they couldn't go in there and get their stuff. So I think your bases in Scum, for instance, should be survival base. Like you go in there, you put your food, so like meat, corn, all that stuff in there that you want. I would make your base a trap base. Like I would leave the outside door open. I've talked to people about this in the past too. Those remote controlled doors that you can get for your base. I would get one of those, leave it open, and then wait for somebody to go in there and then close the door on them. And then, like, if someone wanted to C4 your base to get in, I would leave that outside door open. They move up to your base to C4 the wall, and then I would close the door on them. They'll blow themselves up. Or, like, the last base that I built, well, there's a couple of different ones, but the last small base that I built in Scum was literally a log cabin, and then the log cabin's front door was facing outside, and then I had a wall going around the outside of it, and I had a guard tower. Basically, there was a log cabin with the stairs coming out the front, and you could lockpick the log cabin and go inside, and I had food and stuff. Then I had a guard tower next to the front door that you could jump up onto and climb on the ledge of, but then I had spike traps up there. So if you did it, you were stuck in an animation lock, and then you would hit the spike traps and die and fall off of the tower. The only way to get into the base, basically, I stuck something next to the stairs, and you had to crawl underneath the stairs through a tiny slit in the wall that I had underneath the guard tower. And then you would go into a little corridor where there was another door, and then you'd have to unlock that door to get through into the backyard of the base, basically. But essentially, the base looked like it was a log cabin with a wood wall around it, but it was a log cabin with a secret entrance to a little area in the back that had a storage thing. And then the only other base, I had bases where, uh, with the old base building system, I had raised foundations. So I did those pointy spike, well, I did spike traps, landmines, and stuff. I had singular posts around the outside of the base that people would have to break down with their weapons or waste a C4 to break into. And then I had just the regular, just wooden defensive traps that you could jump up onto pretty easily, but if you messed up, it would half health you and give you like a C3 bleed. Then I had like layers of walls, raised foundation, more of those barricade bleed traps, and then I would have barbed wire and stuff in the middle, and then I would have more walls, more rounds, raised foundations, more, and it was just like a layer of crap. But otherwise, you could do that and then put flag bases around the outside and log off. But right now, what I would say is the best case scenario. I don't know how the BCU locks work, but you get an alt account, you put advanced engineering on it, you bring supplies to it, you build a little bitty tiny mini base with as many walls and stuff that you can. You build a hidden area inside of the base that's like a false wall or something, and then you stick that BCU lock door or container behind it, and then you would stick the supplies that you want in that BCU locked container, and then you would stick everything else on the character and log them off, and then you would have whatever you wanted in a vault, and then if you had like 4 or 5 players in a base, like I would say this too. I don't think you should care about the intelligence stat anymore. I don't. Uh, don't don't care about squad party sizes. Don't care about seeing your party members and having the same tag. Join up with a group. Join each other in Discord. Know where each other's bases are and what you look like. Learn to play with each other. The BCU lock unlocks the door for each person. Like any one of your team that dies can unlock that BCU lock. If you have 5 people on a team, no, I'm saying like I don't care about 5 intelligence if you're building a team. That's what I'm saying right now. If your squad is really large, you could store stuff for convenience, but you don't want to stick it somewhere. Like anytime I've played a survival game, I've never really needed more than like 3 kits of gear. Like one of them I'm wearing, 2 of them I have in a box, anything else I could just grab whenever I wanted to, or restock. You die a couple times, it's over. But if you have a big base, you could stick stuff in it. But if it gets raided, it gets raided, and then they have your stuff. So it's kind of 50-50. But these BCU locks, as long as someone in your team doesn't die, they can't get access to your base. So say you have a team of 5, your team leader could be in the middle and build a base, and then put a BCU lock on the door, and then your other 4 teammates could claim flag zones around his base and build their bases around it, and then BCU lock their doors, and then one of those bases would have a doorway in the back that goes to the central base. You BC lock the front of that door, and then basically you're going to have 5 individual bases that if any one person dies, they're only going to get access to one person's base. And then to get your loot, you're going to need your team leader and the guy with the main base online so that y'all can go through his base to get into your loot zone, grab your stuff, and go. Then you're going to have to learn how to play the game like Tarkov or whatever. So when you play with your teammates, you're going to have to learn to identify with each other, use compass callouts. It's going to be a lot harder. There's going to be a lot more team killing, but it's just going to be better. Because like otherwise, if someone dies on your team, like I guess you could. I don't know if you can kick them out of your party. Maybe that would deny them access to your base. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. 'Cause I think literally if the game the deal with keys is that you're going to have to keep them safe. And then where are you going to keep your keys safe? If you keep them safe in the building, you can't unlock your door. If you keep them on your body and you die, they're going to take it. And then if you bury it in a chest, someone can find your chest and then go into your base. Keys left on the floor despawn after a long while, so you can hide them. Yeah, I mean, the keys are just going to be probably too complex. Like, there's no way to keep them secure. Like, after your key's missing, they just have to figure out where the key goes to and they can get in. I mean, I'm telling you, the main thing I would do is just if someone raids your base, you want them to use as many keys as possible, and you want them to use as many explosives as possible to get in, or die as many times as possible, just to make it a super annoyance for them. So like, Like last patch when I was building that trading post, I had a trading post base that I was building that basically used the log cabins as walls, and there was 3 to 4 large log cabins in the center, and then there was like 20 log cabins as walls around the outside. So if someone broke into that base, they would have to go through the layers of gates on the outside or blow walls into it, and then they would have to choose a cabin and unlock the door and then look for loot in there. So like if you have 20 log cabins with doors on them, they can waste 20 lockpicks and keys trying to get in there if they want, but don't even have your stuff in those buildings. Like you could maybe have like one gun or something on the wall. Like you put like one gun as a wall hanger in there, a suit of armor or something, but not a whole bunch of stuff. I'd put meat, cooking stuff maybe. Like your loot, you should be able to like say you had a wooden base. I would build like I don't know, like 6 log storages or something and fill them full of crafting materials and then just build a wall, seal off all your loot behind a wall, and then every time that you close it up, just seal it off. Like anytime that you're done storing like a crap ton of loot, I would just seal it off where there's no entry points to it at all. And then on the off chance that somebody rages your base, they're going to have explosives. They're not going to be able to lockpick a wall. And then if they blow up the wall, then they found it. If they didn't, then whatever. You're just burying it like treasure at that point. And even then, I would probably like take a chest. So like, so say you take a square room, you build a square room, you build a house around the square room, you put chests and you bury the chest in the dirt inside of the square room, and then you put wardrobes in front of the chests on the ground so it blocks off the chests on the back side. And then you seal the room off where there's no doors. And basically someone would come into your base, they'd be looking around, they wouldn't find anything. Maybe they blow your base up and they get inside of that hidden area. They find 2 or 3 wardrobes. They lockpick the wardrobes. They don't really find much inside the wardrobes. They don't check behind them, and then there's boxes in the dirt underneath it. You know, like behind the wardrobe where you wouldn't see them. And then when y'all want to get your loot, you would have to go in there, destroy the wall, destroy a wardrobe, bury your dig your loot out. I don't know. I mean, if you're just storing loot for the long haul, you're not going to be touching it every day. Like, separate your loot, stick your good stuff somewhere, seal it off where nobody can get to it. That's all I can really say. If you have a doorway, if you're protecting your loot with locks, it's just dumb. Like, if you want to protect your loot, yeah. If you want to protect your loot, though, you use your base is. You don't want your base to be, oh, you have to get past 5 locks to get to my stash. You want it to be, you have a 50-50 chance of guessing this right. So that little cabin base that I had, you could go to the door, you could climb up on the watchtower, you could go underneath the stairs, okay? They had a 50-50 chance of guessing something right, okay? You go into the cabin, you find some food. You go on top of the tower, you instantly die, okay? Maybe you decide to go underneath the floorboard, and I decided to not leave the spike trap under the floorboard that day. So basically, anytime I left the building, I would put spike traps underneath the stairs because you couldn't melee them underneath the stairs. So they would have to destroy the stairs, the foundation, the wall, all that to get through there. And then once they got through that, they would have to go into that little bitty corridor, which I had spike traps kind of like zigzag through there to get to a doorway. But then you could put 2 doorways there, and there's a 50-50 chance for a doorway. You could put like they don't have shotgun traps here, but you could put like a claymore or something behind one of the doors. So you make it a 50-50 shot where it's just better for them to blow your base up with C4, and then they have to decide if it's worth it or not. I wouldn't trust a lock for anything. It's the only point to have a base, trap base, man. That's what I'm saying. The next base that I build is probably going to be, like, if I'm using camo or something, I'm literally going to leave my base open and just wait for people to go in and shut the door on them. and then I'm gonna go up to a tower and like shoot them. That's probably what's gonna happen. Because that's the other thing is like if you have camouflage, you could literally just be setting in front of your base and people wouldn't even notice you're there. But you have like that remote control. Like say like I built explosive arrows and I put that remote control door on front of my base and then I have a narrow hallway that goes to my front entrance. Someone goes through that door, through that narrow hallway to my front entrance. I get up and I shoot them with my explosive arrow and I shut the door. They just blow up and bleed to death inside that doorway. And then I open the door, go in there, take their stuff, stick it in the house. You're done. I would stick my stuff in a campsite before anywhere else. Like I've had stuff at a campsite before with like 3 chests. And then somebody killed me, went to go loot my chest in the box, and then or they shot at me and I was bleeding to death. I healed, and then they tried to flank around and they ran into my campsite and started messing with my chest. That was like it was like a decoy like extra storage chest that was next to my tent, and I shot him in the face with a 22 and got all of his fancy like Val gear and heavy armor and shit. But like literally, I really love playing with 5 strength. Like if I have the chance, this would be my thing. I would do right here, just 5 strength. I'm probably gonna start taking demolition, but I would definitely do 5 strength and just run this. Medium engineering, if I could, and just smack people. I generally like building bases, but it's time consuming, and I don't prefer to do it on this game hardly. That's the other thing though, is just like people lockpick and get into each other's bases, but the place that I always see the most loot is when people are raiding people's bases. Because they have to bring, 4 or 5 sets of gear, storm in different areas, have explosives, lockpicks, all that stuff they have to bring out for base raids. So if you can manage to make traps and kill them while they're trying to raid your base and steal the stuff, you're good. You don't have to loot, you don't have to lockpick. Eventually they'll leave you alone though. I don't even remember what my stats were right now. I think we did 2.5 here. It was something like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's tying people up and stuff is fun and all, but also, I mean, people, like, if you put that stuff in the game, people will start, like, making people impossible. Like, you're not going to be able to, like, they'll capture you and just keep you around as a pet and not let you die, and you get stuck in a cage for hours. Probably what happens. mean, you can tie people up though, so I mean, it's something. Well, usually people can starve themselves or something, but they've already have this constitution skill that the resistance and stuff that said that when they add shock and poison to the game, so I'm assuming they're going to be able to knock people out at some point. It's probably coming, and the resistance is going to be what you're going to use, and people are going to start slotting resistance because you don't want to get knocked. Like Arc, if you didn't have like a certain amount of Topor, you get one hit by something and get passed out. 18 hours with this, but it gives us enough awareness to potentially hunt. But we'd still need to level up survival. And we'd still have to level up our strength. Sucks. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be something like that, like a crippling effect or knocking people out. Dropping things and crippling probably would be similar, but I want him to just add that shield that Mr. Bruner had on some of his pictures. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just tell him to add the shield. That's all I need. Yeah, I think this would be better starting. I don't have to level my awareness really here. And we're looking at 18 hours to max out camouflage. We need at least 7 hours to max out stealth. So you're looking at 11 hours of camouflage solo. But we're probably going to be maxing out stealth anyway. Medical's still good. As long as they don't have advanced awareness, we'll be fine. Early, maybe. But I still prefer to have strength. That's the problem here. I mean, I think that's about as efficient as you could get. If you're going to try and go for camo and if you need awareness 100% at the beginning, this would be probably what you do. But as soon as you get somebody on your team, you could level your awareness so fast that this wouldn't matter anymore. And it'd just be more efficient to have teammates than it is to actually run this build. Basically. And then we can drop this later once intelligence leveling comes out, and you just drop it into strength, probably. Strength and conditioning. You'd have 3.5 points, so put 2.5 and then like 1 in here. Yeah, but this is a ranged build pretty much. Like the strength is so low that you would need, like, you'd probably want to have rifle skill here. But if you do, you're not gonna have like you're gonna have to manually level brawling later, and that's gonna annoy me so much. LMG would be, if that's what you're typing, yeah. It's a light machine gun. Heavy weapon, though. I'm getting tired. Yeah, it probably will be. I'm assuming heavy weapons is going to be the hardest to level, if I was going to guess. Depending on how much they cost at the trading posts. Because, I mean, if they're rare weapons and not just common, then you're not going to be able to shoot as many bullets out of them. So you're not going to level as fast. So I'd say high strength. Like, if I do the 4.5, I would do close to advanced brawling with, like, medium, uh, heavy weapons. Probably. I'm both tired and hungry. Yeah, I forgot that we were watching this stuff too.
Experiments, which unfortunately went bad. The infestation happened, they had to shut it down. They made a security system which was powered by these solar panels, which kept all blast doors shut. Unfortunately,
It's showing you the location right here.
Every time security system developed one major flaw, the batteries were not strong enough to keep the power during the nighttime. So during the nighttime, security system had to shut down and the emergency system took it over. The emergency system opened the entrance doors to uh, allow people to evacuate from the inside if something bad happened, like fire. Which brings us to the way how you can enter these bunkers. So during the daytime, you will not be able to enter the bunker unless you have a key card, and the key card is a killbox card. Uh, and the other way is to hack it into, which you can do by press holding F and going to hack card reader, and then you will go into this
Yeah, if they're adding the hacking
game,
skill,
which
has to be.
you have to use different kind of switches to guess the proper voltage and then pull the lever to get inside. If you fail, the alarm will sound. Currently the alarm doesn't do anything much except noise, but eventually it will trigger company sensors that there is a possible breach in the facility, and company will deploy sentries to keep infestation from spreading. The other way of entering the bunkers is during the nighttime, when emergency system takes it over and the doors will be open.
See, but in a previous thing, they said this right here, you could turn with strength and open the door as well. So if this is true, but he also said that it's very loud and wakes things up. So, but if this is true, you should be able to open it with this, with strength at some point. Which seems odd if it's open. I mean, I guess maybe they're saying if you, I don't know. I mean, he didn't mention that you could open it with strength right here, so maybe it's not in the game yet, but it seems weird that, I mean, the thing is there, but you also, like, wouldn't you have to hack the door? It's sealed electronically, so I don't know. Maybe you have to hack it and turn it. But right there, this is on the snow biome, and it's partially melted, so it's down the mountain somewhere.
Best way to go through bunker is to be quiet and slow and listen the sound around you. There are creatures living within the ventilation ducts of the bunker, which are really sensitive to noise. Search the
Yeah, I knew stealth was going to be a big one. I mean, these are videos I haven't seen yet. But I knew
try to
stealth was going
find
to be a
key
big one.
cards, which will get you access to generate room where you will be able to use fuses to turn on the power in some sections of the bunkers. Be as silent as possible. If you hear any kind of noise going through the ventilation ducts towards you, just stop doing whatever you do.
I knew it was going to be
If
something
you
with
hear any
ventilation
sound,
ducts when I saw that video or
please
that
do not
picture.
move.
I mean, it's not super crazy, but I could see some people freaking out about it. Every survival game I've ever played, people hate playing at night, and this seems like the easiest way you're going to get in is at night. if you don't have the hacking skill or the key card. Um, so I mean, I don't know exactly what. Depending on how these monsters move in here, I think is going to be the big one. The things popping out of the vents, like you don't know if they have an animation for it or if it's just like spawning in the room with you, you know? Like these are just normal puppets right here. Well, we've already seen like a couple of video clips where they shoot these monsters and they're taking like 4 or 5 rounds and not even going down. I figure the ones with the babies on their backs, the baby is probably the weak point where you need to shoot the baby in the face, but other than that, I don't know. I think he just doesn't want to fight the things out of the vents because he's solo, I would assume. Got a fuse. So these are basically going to be like big maze type bunkers that you're going to have to learn the entry points and stuff to and all the other stuff. Yeah, I don't really care about the flamers so much as how to kill the big guy. I'm hoping they give him the shield at some point because I want the shield. I just want to find the shield. That's all I care about. That's all I need. Put the shield in the game so I can have a knight. That's all I want. Yeah, I'm wondering how it works with other players. See that right there, he's manually opening the door. Is this to go in or go out though is the question. I didn't see how much strength he had earlier either. It doesn't look like it's taking him very long though. Yeah, but basically, if they don't have any power, like you just have to figure out to shut the power off inside the bunker and then open all the doors manually. But then you have to fight the things that pop out. So the question's just going to be like how easy it is to kill these things or not. Because if it's hard, then yeah, there's a little vent hole there in the ceiling. What, does he have 11 strength? Maybe. I mean, for this, it's just like, with this build that I have right here, I could literally slot my awareness stats into the hacking stat, and it would probably be fine, I'm assuming. I mean, I could at least go basic awareness, basic there if I really had to, but I could drop all my camouflage and go fully advanced into hacking, and I would still be fine here. Because I could lockpick any container that they have for the most part, and then I could hack the things pretty easily. If we go strength build, I don't really know about that. I'm very tempted just to go like max endurance and not even care about my movement speed. Awareness. Southwest. I think I went too far. I don't know exactly what time that's going to be here, so I don't know, but I was thinking about getting something to eat and laying down for a second, but that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you need to hunt. Like, I have pretty good awareness right now, and I am not seeing this stuff. Like, it has to be, like, right here. We've literally ran past this a few times. Hey, Siri, set an alarm for 11. I'm guessing we lost the chicken. Oh. Technically longer, but yeah. Getting pretty hungry. I do, I generally do like 20 hour fasts, sometimes 12, depending how hungry I get. stay up. I just happen to sleep a decent bit, and then I happen to be up, basically. I'm not as energetic as I used to be, though. I got a severe concussion in college playing football, and ever since then, my energy's kind of fuzzy. But used to, when I was in college and playing ball and stuff, I never walked anywhere. I ran all the time. But, basically, if you start fasting, I would say like the first 3 days are probably the worst. And then eventually it kind of numbs down a bit, depending on how long you fast. Like you could just do like 6 hours and then slowly increase it to 7 hours and 8 hours. Um, and then like there's different kinds of fast too, because some people do like solid fasts where they'll have fruit juice or whatever. Like religious churches and stuff do that. I haven't been doing vitamins and stuff, no. I have no real scientific method to what I'm doing for the most part, except for basically I dabbled with short fasts for a little while, and then uh, when I had like my first real breakup, like basically my only real solid relationship that I ended up having a breakup with, uh, I couldn't sleep for like a, I don't even know, like a few days, and I didn't eat during that period. And after that, I realized like I could go a while because I went like a month or something at that point. And then when I came home from college, I realized that I couldn't afford to eat like I used to. So instead of spending a couple $100s on groceries every week, I had to cut it down, and I ended up eating chicken and rice for like 3 years before I bought this house. And then